If a pool is going to leak, this is where it's going to happen. And if this isn't done right, it can become a very expensive mistake. There's a few things that are really important from a structural standpoint. We're trying to do everything in our power to prevent leaks anywhere around this pool shell, which is very important to you as you own the pool over the years. One of the biggest things that you don't want to happen is to develop leaks in your backyard pool. So we want to show you a few things today that we've done to eliminate as much risk as possible. Hey, Jason here from River Pools, Virginia. Today we're going to talk about plumbing around a fiberglass pool through the trench and over to the equipment pad. And really, whether it's fiberglass, vinyl, or concrete, the goals are the same. We're trying to move the right amount of water to the right place at the right time, and just as important, we're trying to prevent leaks. So a lot of the things we're going to talk about are an effort to prevent leaks anywhere around this pool shell. So when we started installing fiberglass pools in the early 2000s, we kind of did it the way that everybody else in the industry did it, and we started to have some issues, including leaks. So we started to ask ourselves, how can we improve this process? How can we use better materials? How can we prevent leaks from developing on our customers' pools? So this has really just been an effort over the past few decades to eliminate as much risk as possible. After about 25 years and 2,500 installations, we've got a system that has virtually eliminated leaks around the outside of fiberglass pools. We made these changes years ago, and man, they have made a huge difference. So let's talk about that. Number one, we want to prevent plumbing settlement. So what tends to happen around pools, fiberglass pools, vinyl liner pools, concrete pools, is there's a lot of pressure on that plumbing. And that downward pressure can result in leaks by cracking the pipe, by shearing off these fittings that are installed in the pool. So what we have to do as pool installers is we have to support that plumbing. There's a couple different ways to do that. One way is to run the plumbing down to the bottom of the pool so it sits on a solid ground and it can't move. That's one way to accomplish that. Another way is to support the plumbing around the outside of the pool. I want to show you how we do that. At River Pools, Virginia, we developed a system where we use basically plumbing straps. We install the plumbing around the pool while it sits on top of the ground, which is great because now as we're installing this plumbing, we're right here at eye level. We can see everything. We can work our way down the pool. The alternative to that is if you set the pool in the hole first, you can absolutely do the plumbing around it, but now you're either down in the hole, you're on top of the ground, you're trying to make these connections, you can't really see as well. We love plumbing pools on top of the ground, a little bit faster, and then we can visually inspect every single fitting all the way up and down the entire line of plumbing to make sure it's good. So number one, pre-plumbing the pool. It's a good advantage, helps us to make sure we get everything installed correctly. Number two, what we don't want to do is just install the plumbing and let it sit here in the backfill strata that can eventually move over time. If that backfill were to move and settle, that puts downward pressure on the plumbing, puts pressure on this fitting, and the number one area that fiberglass pool leaks is in these fittings that are connected to the pool. There's a downward force and it causes these fittings to shear off. So we go through multiple steps to prevent that from happening. Number one, we use fittings that are made for fiberglass pools. They're incredibly strong. Number two, we actually install pipe inside of those fittings that connect the front and the back half of the fittings together. That makes them one cohesive unit. Number three, all of our plumbing is tight to the pool. Our plumbing does not stick out far away from the pool. That reduces that shearing force, that's that downward force on the plumbing. Number four, we strap the plumbing and we support it. Now the straps are used in a way where we have them located at every fitting and then roughly every 2 to 3 feet all the way down the pool. So that plumbing is incredibly strong. Like I could hang on this thing and it's not gonna break these fittings, it's not gonna break the plumbing. Okay, this is one of the reasons why we can give such an exceptional plumbing warranty on our installations. So let's talk about something else that's important that we do. The pipe that we use is Schedule 40 PVC pipe, all right, it's rigid. This pipe is rated for in-ground pools. That's regulated by our industry standards, and so it's a great product to use, but it tends to be a little bit harder to install compared to something other installers use, which is called flexible PVC tubing, all right? So this is used by a lot of installers. It's flexible, it comes in 50-foot rolls, and you can kind of just unroll it and just connect it at two ends and go. So it's a lot faster. Well, we've made a decision at River Pools, Virginia. We're not going to use this product. We're going to use rigid pipe, even though it takes a little bit longer to install it, because this product is made of cellulose. Bugs will eat cellulose. In fact, everything eats cellulose. It's like bread pudding. I mean, cellulose is in a lot of the foods that we eat. Well, that's what this product is made of. So the manufacturers and distributors of flex PVC tubing actually say in their language that this is not rated for underground use, and that their warranties don't include bug chews or bug bites or bug damage due to termites or ants or anything like that. So we made a conscious decision many years ago that we were not going to use flexible PVC pipe. We stick with rigid pipe. Guess what's eating this stuff? Nothing. Nothing eats this. It also doesn't collapse. It's a lot more rigid. Our glue welds are a lot more solid with the solvents and glues that we use in our solvent welding. So it's a great product. We're not the only ones that take this position. So Genesis, which is the accredited certification arm of our industry, so if you want to become a certified pool builder, you go take some Genesis classes. I'm fortunate enough to be an instructor in the fiberglass class with Genesis, and one of the Genesis statements is no flex pipe for the reasons that we've stated in this video. So could a pool builder use this for many years and never have a problem? I'm sure that that happens. But the truth is, if we want to try to eliminate as much risk as we can for our customers, this is probably not the best way to do that. So let's now go take a look at the equipment pad and the plumbing trench. So the pool is right behind us. We plumbed around the outside of the pool and over to the filter system. We've got a plumbing trench with plumbing lines coming right over to this point. Let's talk about some of the components that are here behind me. We've got these gray pipe that are sticking up, and these cables, they connect to the lights in the pool. We've got a pump, a filter, the heater, which is optional. There's a saltwater chlorine generator that converts salt into chlorine. We also have check valves and two-way and three-way valves that help control and direct the water, so we can send water back to the return jets where the filtered clean water goes back into the pool, or through some bubblers in this case that are on the tanning ledges. We also can send the water through the heater or not through the heater, so we have valves to help control all that. So this is all part of the pump and filter system. So some of the most important things here from an installation standpoint: number one, we need to make sure that this equipment's setting on a stable and level base. So we brought some stone over here, we've graded the stone, we've leveled it, so these equipment pads are nice and stable, they're not going to settle. Now our equipment has something solid to set on for years and years. Number two, the plumbing lines are coming up out of the ground nice and straight, they're level, they're plumb, and as the lines are run across the equipment pad, you'll see all of our plumbing lines are 90-degree angles, they're perpendicular to each other, they're nice and neat and organized. There's no wacky plumbing going on. It's easy to look at this system for a professional and know exactly what's going on here. So the pool plumbing runs around the pool, goes through the trench, and that's the plumbing that's stubbed up right here. So after all the plumbing is completed, one last step is really needed to make sure that the entire circulating system has been installed in a leak-free manner, and that's pressure testing. So normally the return fittings, those are the jets in the pool where the water comes back in after it goes through the circulating system, has these little eyeballs in there. And these little directional eyeballs you can change. You can divert the water different directions towards your skimmer. But when we pressure test, we take these out and we install plugs. We want to seal that plumbing line so that we can pressure test the system. We apply pressure, we hold that pressure for a designated amount of time, we make sure there's no leaks. If there is a leak, which basically almost never happens, we know we have it and we can find it and fix it right there so that we don't have to wait to start the system up and realize, uh-oh, we got a problem. And that's how you make sure you don't have any leaks or errors during the installation process.
So once the plumbing is done, everything's connected to the filtration system and pressure tested. Now it's time to fill the pool with water and start backfilling around the outside with stone.
So as we're backfilling the pool, the type of material we backfill with is really important. For us, we found this clean crushed stone to be the best way to go. It compacts well on placement, it drains very well. The point-on-point friction as those stones lock together on the sidewall really stabilize that pool wall and work much better than sand or pea stone or other materials that installers might use for backfill material. So when you combine the stone backfill on the outside along with our plumbing straps and the other precautions we take in our plumbing processes, we basically eliminated the chance of leaks around the outside of fiberglass pools. After about 25 years and 2,500 installations, we've got a system that has worked really well. We're always looking for a way to improve this and improve our processes, so we never feel like this is done. It's not like we got it all figured out, but we do have a good system that works, allows us to give a great warranty. We're ready for the next phases of the project in this backyard. We'd love to talk to you about your backyard. If you have questions about fiberglass pools, about the process, or you'd like to ask us about a fiberglass pool in your backyard, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.
You bought this roll just
Yeah, so I went to our distributor and bought this just for this video. We would actually never buy, I don't think we've ever actually bought a roll of flexible PVC pipe, but we bought it just for this video. You can see it's pretty flexible. Yeah, I mean, if I were an installer and I wanted to do something fast, I would totally just roll this out and connect it on both ends, but the fact is it's not quite as good as rigid pipe.